Hey everybody, Joe here, coming at you with another episode of 360 Comics. Just a few weeks ago, I attended my first ever live auction estate sale, and as luck would have it, there was another one this past weekend right in my local area, so you know I had to go. There were comics ranging from the Golden Age all the way up to the 1990s, and tons of other comic-related memorabilia. I picked up a bunch of lots myself for a good price, all of which I'll talk about today. We are closing in on the milestone for our 7,000 Instagram follower giveaway. You don't want to miss out on this book right here, so go enter before it's too late. And make sure you also subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below because we're going to be announcing our 2,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway very soon, and you're not going to want to miss that one. Just rolled up to Stevenson's Auctions here in Southampton, Pennsylvania. Hopefully we can get some good comic lots today. As you can see here, the comics were sorted nicely into lots, either by character, title, publisher, or era, and we were allowed to go through them beforehand and check them out, look at the condition, and I took pretty meticulous notes on where I thought the bigger keys were, as well as some lots that I thought might go for under market value. There were these few slabs, but they all went for over market value, and they weren't really that great of slabs, so I stayed away. With these Silver Age books, people knew the value of them, so they all went pretty high, including that ASM 17. And let's get into what I picked up. First up, I paid $70 for an Incredible Hulk bundle that spanned from the very late 1980s into the mid-1990s. And in that run, there are tons of low-value $5 or so minor keys. And those are great to have, but there were a couple more expensive books, more significant books, and fortunately, there were multiple copies of each of them. So we're going to start off here with the Incredible Hulk 377. This is the first appearance of Professor Hulk, and not only that, but it is the second printing. And this is one of those books where the second printing is more expensive than the first. And in fact, the third printing is by far more expensive than either of the first two printings. You can tell the printings apart by the colorization on the front cover. The first printing is green background, green Hulk, and a bright pink trade dress. Second printing, as you see right here, black background, green Hulk, gold trade dress. The third printing looks very similar to the first printing, but it's not as bright. It's kind of like toned down as far as like the neonness of the colors, if that makes any sense. It's not as bright of a pink or as bright of a green. Look out for that one. It's much harder to find, but this one is pretty solid as well. And there wasn't just one or two copies. There were actually 3 copies, all nice high grade. I would assume that this collector was a bit of a speculator in the 90s, picking up multiple copies of this book, as well as this next one. We've got the Incredible Hulk 418 here. This is the wedding of Rick Jones, but more importantly than that, it is the first appearance of Talos. It is a die-cut gatefold cover, and in fact, I hate the cover. I think this is like a terrible looking comic book cover, but I guess some people might like it, and I apologize if you do. But yeah, first appearance of Talos, this is a really underrated key in my opinion. This character has not only shown up in the MCU already, but is going to be coming back soon for Secret Invasion. That's been confirmed. This is his first appearance. It's not a hard book to find, but I'm kind of surprised that it does hold a value of only about $10 to $15, depending on condition, and 9/8 are barely over $100. But you know what? There were a lot of copies in this collection, as you see right here. I think there were 10 or 11. Yeah, let's see. What do we got here? I got 10 in hand, so 11 total copies of this book right here. First appearance of Talos, and you know, I think it's one that could go up, especially if Secret Invasion is a really good show, and if the character continues to make MCU appearances. So I'll be holding on to at least a couple copies of these, but you know, probably sending some into CGC and also selling some because I don't need to hold on to 10 copies. Next, we're going from Hulk to She-Hulk. We've got the sensational She-Hulk number 50, a milestone issue with this foil cover featuring artwork by John Byrne, one of the greats of all times. And this cover looks awesome. Cool foil cover, all that stuff. Can't complain about that. And guess what? Not just one copy, but two as well. This was in a weird batch of comics. This wasn't with the Hulk books. It was in a lot with a bunch of foil comics. So there was like Namor number 50, which again had a foil cover, as well as Quasar 50, which had a foil cover, all issue 50s. And then Moon Knight issue 50, which I believe the cover was die cut, not foil, but kind of these gimmicky 90 covers. They were all together. I got them really cheap. I don't remember the exact price, but I think it was like $30 for a big old stack of books, including multiple copies of those issues, 2 copies of this one, and this being the best one in that lot. Then there was a Thor bundle. Can't remember exactly how much I paid on this, probably around like $40, but there was Thor 199, the first appearance of Ego Prime. And Ego is a character that, we've kind of heard some speculation on as far as coming to the MCU. I believe Ego's a living planet, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm confusing that character, but there's been some speculation. I've heard the name tossed around a bunch, and this is, obviously like an advanced form of Ego Prime. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with Thor stuff, so if I'm totally off base on that, let me know in the comments. But either way, a key issue. And this next one's even better. Thor number 200, not only a milestone issue, but it's also the issue that Thor Ragnarok is based off of. They took elements of this Ragnarok storyline, and they used that in the movie. And anytime there's MCU connection, the book is going to hold some significant value. Then we're going to fast forward ahead from the Bronze Age all the way to the 90s. This was weird. These were 2 of only, I think, 3 or 4 Bronze Age books in this Thor lot. The rest were 90s. We've got issue 440 here, the first appearance of the Thor Corps, featuring Beta Ray Bill, Thor, someone else. I don't remember who's in this, but it's a newsstand copy. It's not particularly super high grade. I mean, it's certainly like 8.0 plus, but it's not going to get that 9.8. Nonetheless, just a good Thor key to have. Same with this next one, issue 459. And this is the first appearance of Eric Masterson as Thunderstrike. Now, there's been some speculation on this character in the MCU, and I'm kind of surprised about that, because I've kind of seen no inkling of that happening at any point. But people are going to speculate on whatever possibly could happen, because the possibilities are out there. They're clearly pulling from source material on a regular basis to make these movies, so I guess there's a chance that anything could be happening. This is not particularly one that I'm personally picking up as a spec. Next, we've got the Mighty Thor Annual number 18, and this is a nice one to have. In fact, it dipped down in price a little bit, so it's probably a good time to pick it up. This is the first appearance of the female version of Loki. We've already seen Loki Season 1, which had, what was her name? I can't even remember her name off the top of my head, and I loved that show. But she's like an enchantress-type character, and this is really going to bother me that I'm not remembering her name. And as soon as I turn this video off, it's instantly going to pop into my head what her name is. Or 10 books from now, it'll pop into my head. Anyway, first female Loki. It's not specifically the same as the one in the in the television show. But it's, just a different version of Loki. And we've seen many Loki variants at this point. And I think Loki is going to get a season 2, and we'll probably see some more there. Next up, we've got Ruins number 1. This was a storyline that, if you notice, this looks like similar to the Marvels run, which great run, has awesome, I believe, Alex Ross art on it. And this one kind of takes a different look at the existence of superheroes in the world, where that one is more positive. This is a more negative. This is more like the detrimental things that happen because superheroes exist. And there were 2 copies of number 1 for some reason, no copies of number 2. It's a 2-issue miniseries, so I really do wish that there are more copies of number 2, or any copies of number 2, rather than just 2 copies of number 1, because it's nice to have them as a set. But nonetheless, a great book if you are are looking at, 90s Marvel keys. Next up, we've got Astro City #1. This was in the only indie lot that I bought. That's not true. This is the only modern indie lot that I bought. Had a bunch of, #1s from Image and stuff like that, and had Astro City #1, which is pretty firmly a nice $10 key. First appearance of multiple characters, and not only was there one copy, I think it was a total of 8 copies or so. All of these Astro City #1s, and all of them really nice high grade as well. Like I said, that was a 90s modern lot. I got it very cheap. I might have paid $15 or $20 at most for it, which at $10 a piece, that's probably $70 or $80 worth of books right there alone. Plus, there was a lot of other stuff that went into my $1 and $3 bins, maybe a couple in the $5 bins as well. The next 2 lots, I kind of put them together because they're very similar. It's Gold Key and Dell stuff from the late Golden and early Silver Age, mostly Silver Age stuff. But we've got Hanna-Barbera Bandwagon #1 here. Not a book that I know a lot about, but it did have some higher sales on eBay, even in mid-grade like this one, in the, $20, $25 range. And I did not pay a lot for these 2 lots. A lot of people just stay away from the Gold Key and the Dell stuff because a lot of it is very, very low value, especially if it's not in high grade. But there are some keys in there, and especially if they're 4-color books from Dell, those are ones to look out for, and we're actually going to get to them in just a second. Actually, right now. This is 4-color issue 1109. Now, 4-color comics, if you're not familiar with it, definitely check out a YouTube video on it. I can suggest one. Mint Hunter Comics put one out just a couple months ago, so if you just search Mint Hunter Comics 4-color, I'm sure you're going to be able to find it. Tons of information there, and this run had well over 1,000 books in it, and a lot of different movie and cartoon television show properties and stuff like that. So if that's something that interests you, definitely check it out. It spanned from the Golden Age through the Silver, and I think into the Bronze Age as well, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is your life, Donald Duck. I don't know much about it, but hey, a popular Disney character, and so it holds some value. Same with this next one. This is 4-color 1182, and this is 101 Dalmatians. This is not like their first appearance or anything like that, but it's a storyline featuring the Dalmatians. This next one, have no idea what this is. 4-color 1258 Diver Dan. I guess he's a scuba diver. I don't know, but it's a 4-color book, so it holds some value. Same thing with this next one right here, 1260. This is the Horsemasters, and we've got some photo cover nonsense going on. The horses, I don't know anything about this, but again, a 4-color comic, and for that reason, it is pretty good. Now, this next one, I can see why this holds some value. This is 4-color 1274, and this is a Santa Claus cover. A lot of people collect these, holiday-related things, whether they're Christmas issues, Halloween issues, things like that, Valentine's Day issues. It's interesting. This one had a recent sale of $30, and it was the only completed sale that I could find, and it was a low-grade copy. There are currently 2 on eBay, and I think they're listed at $200 and $300 by it now. I don't know if those are reasonable prices. Maybe the $30 one went way, way low, and this book is worth significantly more. Or maybe the $30 one is normal, and that's just 2 people seeing that they're the only 2 on eBay and listing it crazy high. Again, I don't know what the deal is with this book. I'm going to look out for more sales data before I sell it. I know I could get at least $30 for it, but if I could get a couple hundred, why not hold out for that? I'm going to do a little bit more research and try to see if I can find any more completed sales. If you can find any online, feel free to let me know in the comment down below. And this is just a really awesome painted cover as well. Not, drawn in ink or anything like that, but painted, and a lot of people collect those painted covers. The last of the 4 color books is this issue. We're going to go backwards now to issue 1025. The reason I left this last is because it's a Mickey Mouse one. The Mickey stuff, I feel like, is worth more, even when it's not a key issue. Obviously, the key issues are the big ones, but I feel like the Mickey stuff is worth the most otherwise, probably because of the popularity of the character. This one is called Vacation in Disneyland, has Mickey and Donald on the front, and I saw sales online ranging from like $20 to $50 or maybe even $60. This one is kind of the lower side of mid-grade. You can see there's some spine wear right there. Nonetheless, it's a early silver. This might have actually been late golden age. I got to check the date on that. I'm not exactly sure. Probably late golden age. It's a 10 center from Dell Comics. This next one was the best one that I got in those lots, though, at least I believe, unless that Santa one is worth significantly more than it sold for recently. But we've got the Jetsons #1 from Gold Key, and this is the first appearance of the Jetsons in comic books. I grew up watching all those classic Hanna-Barbera shows, the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, all that kind of stuff. And this is one that I was really, really stoked to pick up. And I was very surprised that it was in there. I don't think people were really paying attention to these because they're mostly weren't like keys or anything like super special. And there's a lot of filler in these Dell runs and these Gold Key runs, but this one is a pretty gosh darn special book. You can see right here, it's got a part where maybe there was like a tape pull here or something like that. It's missing quite a bit of the color on the cover, but nonetheless, I'm going to be sending this one in to get graded because this thing deserves to be slabbed up and preserved. It's, it's certainly in the lower grade range because of that. I'm not sure how much that's going to affect the grade, but I would be hoping for like a 3.0. That would be pretty nice. The book is in great shape otherwise, other than that probable tape pull. Anyway, we're moving on to the last 2 books, and they're both DC books. They came in a bundle, and first up, we've got Flash 132. This is not listed as a key, but it is a fantastic Carmine Infantino cover. And, just a nice 12-cent early Flash comic from the early 1960s. I believe this was 61, maybe 62. This next one, though, that came with it, and like I said, these two came together. I think I spent $50-$60. I don't remember exactly. But we've got Flash 137, and this features a double first Silver Age appearance of both Johnny Thunder and Vandal Savage, both of them having appeared in the Golden Age, and then coming back in this issue right here. So first Silver Age appearance, and you got to look out for those because a lot of the Golden Age first appearances are unobtainable for most people. So people really gravitate to those Silver Age first appearances, making them quite a bit more valuable than second and third appearances usually are. Now, all this stuff together, I ended up paying, and keep in mind that there were a bunch of other things. Oh, actually, some of them I have to show you right here. I did get a stack of graphic novels and trade paperbacks. There were 2 lots. I think I paid like $5 and $15 for the 2 lots. They were very inexpensive, so I'm just gonna have those for sale in a $5 bin because cover price on those is like $15. So people are getting them for a super discount if they're picking them up for $5. And like I said, I got them really cheap. It's mostly DC stuff, but there's a bunch of Marvel and indies as well. This next thing, though, pretty cool, and I only paid $5 for this set. There were these like commemorative plates, and this one is an Amazing Fantasy 15 plate. This one is probably sticking with me. It's got like a number on the back. It says limited edition, fine porcelain. I don't know anything about this. Oh, I guess it was from the Franklin Mint. Heirloom recommendation, Amazing Fantasy 15, 1962, featuring Spider-Man from Marvel Comics. Okay, cool. Looks awesome, and I just clanked it on my wedding ring. Don't want to do that. Don't want to scuff this thing up. Great display piece, and being I don't own an Amazing Fantasy 15, cool thing to have as a little reminder of someday maybe I will find one. There were also, in the same lot, there were 2 other plates. This one's a Scooby-Doo plate. I was looking on eBay. This thing sells for like 40, 50 bucks. It came in the original box, which I still have. If you're interested in this Scooby-Doo plate, let me know, because I'm not going to be keeping it, just the Amazing Fantasy one. And last but not least, this one was selling for $60 on eBay. An awesome Wonder Woman one. Is this Adam Hughes? It looks like Adam Hughes art to me. It's a nice big plate too. Great display piece. Like I said, I paid $5 for all 3 of these plates, and I'm only going to be keeping the Amazing Fantasy one, so I will let Scooby-Doo and Wonder Woman go for under market price if you're looking for these. I don't need to hold out for the best price because, I paid so little on them, so I might as well pass them on to someone who wants them more than me. So send me a message if you want either of those. Anyway, in total, for all the stuff here, plus all those $5 books that I didn't show you and a ton of dollar bin things, I paid just over $400. I think it was $427. I think... I think it's well over $1,000, or I shouldn't say well over, slightly over $1,000 worth of stuff. So more than a double up, once all is said and done. Some of the stuff is going to probably take a while to sell, but I think pretty reasonably soon I could sell $800, $900 worth of this stuff and, recoup my money plus an extra couple $100. And it was a fun experience attending the auction and, having the thrill of bidding on these items and seeing what they go for. There were a couple I missed out on. There was a lot that had Fantastic Four books, including the first Agatha and the first, it's a double key. It's first, Franklin Richards and the first Annihilus. That's a key that I've talked about before. In addition to that, there was a lot that was a single book. It was the first appearance of Hank Pym as Giant Man. I believe it's Avengers 49. And there was an ASM 17, the second appearance of Green Goblin. That went for, all of those lots went for over market value. They were not ones that I was going to be bidding on very high. If I get it for under market, sure, but I'm not paying over market price. If someone really wants it that bad, go ahead, take it. But it seems like the popular things, the things that people knew were good, like those books, they went for over market price. Whereas some of this lesser known stuff, you can see I got it for quite a nice deal. That being said, I'm definitely going to attend more of these live auctions when I can. They're a lot of fun, and sometimes you can pick up some cool books, some things that you don't often see. And that's about it. Hope you like this video. Thumbs up for the like. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.